Good evening, and welcome to Bring It to the Table on a Friday night. Well, we've all been away for a whole week, and it's so nice to be back here again with you. It's going to be an interesting night tonight. I would like for you to be able to call in, but also, before calling in, I want you to get to the table with a glass of wine, apple juice, milk, tea, whatever your taste buds calls for, and relax. Because I'm quite sure you've had a rough week, and now that it's Friday, headed into the weekend, I know you probably have some plans, but let's make sure that they're safe, masked up, and enjoy. Again, welcome to the table. If you want to call in, the request line is area code 310-910-9676, extension 1. Again, the request line is 310-910-9676, extension 1. Well, I've had a good week. I've had some interesting things happen this week. It's all been good. And the main thing is that the Lord's been good. He's kept me healthy, and that's a good thing. But tonight, I have a young man here with me that has a journey. And his journey has been one heck of a journey. But you know what? It's inspiring to know his journey and to see where he's come from and where he's about to go with his journey. And you know, we all have one. We all have a journey. We all have a story. We all have a testimony. But it's up to us or the individual how they decide to tell their story, how they decide to give their testimony, as well as take their journey. And it's going to be good. I want to introduce to my listeners out there tonight to a young man that I just had a privilege of meeting. And we've talked on the phone a couple of days. And he's very interesting. And I've always liked to hear the journey that one travels, especially when we're like-minded people. When I say that, it's because he's an amputee as well, but it is a little more in depth than what mine is. He has lost both legs and part of an arm, so it's very, very, very interesting to hear his journey. And I want to introduce to you none other than Mr. Barry, but he likes to be called the Bear. Bear, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
You doing good?
Yeah, real good.
Good. I'm gonna call you Bear because I know that's what you like to call Bear. Bear, I would like for you to tell me your journey. Are you born and raised here?
Yes.
You are?
Born and raised in Compton.
Oh, Compton. All right. Where'd you go to school?
Compton High School.
Went to Compton High?
Yeah, Walton Junior High and Caldwell Elementary.
All right, you Comptons. We got somebody here that knows all about Compton.
Mm-hmm.
Yay for Compton. Tell me, what happened to you in order for you to have 2 surgeries, or should I say 3, with your amputations? Tell me.
Well, diabetes was the main thing. And I had on my right foot at first. My toe got infected and it spread it to my foot. And I was supposed to get half of my foot amputated. And they ended up amputating my part of my leg, and then they had to end up doing the rest of it, lower below the knee. And then the same thing happened. I had some shoes that I was wearing, didn't know, and it was rubbing a sore in my left foot. And that got infected. And then with my hand, I ended up burning one of my fingers. And with diabetes, you don't feel it. Mm-hmm. And it burnt, and it got infected, and it spread it throughout my hand. So,
well, the first one you said was your toes?
My toe, my right foot, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, did they just take the toes, or?
Yeah, I was saying they were supposed to take half the foot. And they didn't, and they ended up amputating me because of my ankle.
Okay. Now, when you said they were supposed to take half the foot, Now, was from the ankle below,
Right.
correct? Now, since it was your toes, couldn't they have just taken just the toes instead of half the foot? Couldn't they have just taken just the toes?
The way they said they wanted to cut out all the infection. So to do half the foot, all the infection should have been gone.
Okay, so it sounds like at that particular time, it was pseudomongus or gangrene was about
Right.
to set in with the toes. So that's the
Gangrene is setting
reason
in.
why they decide to go up a little bit higher.
Right.
I can understand that. That's because when I had my amputation, it was the ankle, really, and that's all they were supposed to take was the ankle. But pseudomongus and gangrene was about to set in. So what the surgeon decided to do was to take it up a little bit higher, which was it made me a BK below the knee. So I can understand that. You know. So now, the second surgery, were you aware? Did you have some feelings, or what made them have to go to take the second leg?
Same with my foot. I was wearing these shoes that I love to wear, and it was rubbing. It rubbed a sore on my foot, but I didn't feel it. And one day at the time I was married, my wife, when I took my shoes off, my wife said, "Your feet stink." And I
Well,
was
she
like, "My
was
feet-"
she was blunt.
And yeah, and I was like, my feet, because my feet never sweat. So she was checking my foot out and everything. It was a sore. So we ended up going to the hospital, and they said it was turning black.
But now, she could smell it, but you couldn't.
After I took the shoes off and so when she took the sock off, I could kind of smell it then, but I never really.
Paid any attention.
Right.
Now, did the smell just happen? That was the first time, or was it something that you was just not aware of before? I mean, you've taken your socks off before, and and you've bathed and all
Right.
that. So it wasn't no odor then.
Not that I recall. No.
Okay. Now with diabetes, because I'm not really up on diabetes to a degree, do you lose a sense of smell?
No.
Okay. So now, was it just the toes again?
It was the bottom of my foot,
The
like
bottom.
the heel part of my foot.
So now they couldn't just take the heel, just to take the part. They had to go up all the way
Yep, because it was starting to spread.
to make you another BK,
Right.
below the knee amputee.
Yep.
Wow. How did you feel about the first surgery? How were you mentally, and what was your thoughts during that time?
The first one, it really didn't affect me the way I thought it was. I mean, because I got used to it, and then all of a sudden, when I got my prosthetic, I was still able to walk and do everything I was doing. But when they said it was happening for the second time, that's when my mind kind of started playing tricks. It was like I didn't want to, really, honestly, I didn't want to be here no more. You could take me away. I didn't want to live no more.
Was it because you didn't feel you were a whole person?
Right. Yep. And I felt, I said I'm going to end up being in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, because one of my doctors had told me, he said, "You're a real big guy, you're not going to be able to walk." And I was determined, like, I'm going to be able to walk. I don't care what, you talking about, but I'm going to be, and I was walking up to the past year and a half. I've been walking, and then now.
Like you said, you didn't want to be here. That was your thought. That's where the mindset you were in. When did you change that mindset, and what made you change that mindset to want to be here? Or are you still in that same mindset?
No, I'm not in that mindset anymore. What it was, my ex-wife, her mother is a minister. And, we used to always talk and everything. And, she was telling me, by the grace of God, I'm still here. And everything happened for a reason and everything. And then when I was able to walk, I'm like, oh, okay, I could deal with this. But I don't think I could deal with no more. I just hope this is the last of it.
Now, you said that your arm, it's your right arm, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Your right arm. Were you cooking? How did that happen?
I don't know. a finger was burnt. I don't know how. I don't know if I had the water too hot and it burnt. I don't know how it happened. It was just a real bad burn.
When did you realize that? Since you had no feeling, when did you realize that your fingers or your finger?
When it started looking infected. I mean, because when it happened, I mean, of course I didn't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it started looking, if I said, you know what, I need to go to the hospital. So this ain't looking right. So.
Now, did you not have feelings in that right arm for a long time, or was it something that just happened after you had the amputation? When did you lose feeling in your right hand?
I always had feeling. I mean, I always had like tingling feelings. It just it wasn't as sensitive as before. I still had little feeling in it and everything.
Now I heard you say something. Ex-wife. You were married at the time that you had both surgeries, all
Right.
three?
All three.
If you don't mind, because here at Bring It to the Table, we put it all out there. Even myself, I have to put myself out here on the table and talk about some things. And I've mentioned this once or twice, and I'm going to mention it again. Since I've been doing this YouTube and have had different people to come on that have dealt with breast cancer, prostate cancer, just straight across the board, and amputations, I have learned some things about myself that I really didn't know I was hiding them within inside. And doing this has allowed me to understand, you know what, you still have some insecurities there, and you still have some strong feelings there that, hey, wow, is this really happening to me? Has this really happened? So it's a good thing when you can talk about it, can accept that. What happened with your marriage? How long had you been married? I should ask first.
Well, this was my second marriage, so maybe about 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. And this was before you had either one of the amputations?
Right.
Okay. And it was a strong marriage. Everything was going good. Everything was well.
Yeah.
What happened within that?
It was me, because I'm into music, and I was putting my music before everything, before her, before everything, and it was I would say an outlet for me to feel better still about myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I would spend money that I shouldn't have spent. I should have spent on the household. I would spend money in the studio, recording stuff, and things happen.
Mm-hmm. So that was you always been in music, correct? Music have always been a part of your life.
Yeah.
And since music have always been a part of your life, so you just use that as being, hey, this is my outlet. I'm focusing on this now to get rid of my strong feelings of what has happened to me, that I have had an amputation. I've had both legs and water, So I'm going to get back to that question, and I'll have you answer that. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take a quick, as they say, pause for the cause. I'm going to take a quick break right now. Just give me a second. just listening to was Her Mystical Journey, which was a song that was written for me in the very beginning. And I just want to thank Mr. Lehman Scott for that mystical journey. We had to take that pause for a short second, and let me explain some things to our listeners. Being an amputee is no fun at all. Losing a limb is no fun at all. And I say this quite often, and because it happens quite often, where people from time to time don't understand what we go through when we've lost a limb. We have the phantom pains, which makes us think that that limb is still there, and it's not. And the phantom pains are so strong till we'll get up and next thing you know, we're on the ground because that leg is not there, or we go to reach for something and that arm is not there. It's difficult. And if you never lost a limb, even a finger, you don't understand. And there's times that we are going through something, and it's not that our attitudes are ugly, or it's not that we're being ugly. It's just you have no idea what we're going through. And my guest is going through a little bit right now. And it's hard. A lot of times we can't sit too long. And right now, for me, and as I say, I don't just have this to say I have my guests bring themselves to the table, but I bring myself as well. And right now, I'm going through some challenges with on my right side, where my hip gives me the blues. Sometimes I can't hardly even walk, but I press through. It's difficult. It's difficult. And I have to keep smiling. I have to keep putting on that, if I could say facade, but I be in pain. Like right now, I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you all, I'm here with my guests, but believe me, there's some pain. I go through it. And like I said, it's no fun at all. It's no fun. So we're going to continue on. Now, you may not see him on camera, and you may just see me. And because I want him to be very comfortable and being able to kind of move around. He is in a wheelchair and he cannot stand. So it's difficult being sitting in one position. So he has to just move his upper body from side to side to try to find a comfortable position. So I'm going to get back to Bear. Bear, you were saying about your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I respect it, because you're saying it was you that didn't fulfill and do the things that you were supposed to do, taking care of the household and being there for her. You took your music and wrapped it around you because of you've lost 2 legs and an arm, correct?
Correct.
So you, in the very beginning, when this started happening to you, your feeling was you didn't want to be here.
Right.
That's the way you felt. So to come out of that feeling, you reached for something. And what you reached for was your music. And that's all that was your comfort zone. That was your marriage. That was your love. That was your intimacy. That was your everything, was to wrap it around your music. And did she not understand that?
She did, to a certain extent, because it was certain times, like I was under, during these amputations, the last one, especially with my hand, I was under a lot of different medications. A lot of stuff that it was said, even my kids had told me and friends told me I would say or do, I don't remember to this day. And when she told me one time, she came to me saying we needed money for this bill. And I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do because I have to go in the studio.
Okay.
And right then, I guess she was like, "Wow, he really don't care about the house or the marriage or nothing. I mean, it's just like his music is that's it. That's all he wants."
How long did she deal with that?
Well, she had been dealing with it for, I would say, a minute, a few
Like a year?
months.
Okay.
But then it finally came to the point where it was just like, I can't take it no more.
Now, when it came to that, did you just say, "Yeah, okay, fine"?
Yep,
Is that what you want to do? Fine.
that was my attitude.
That was your attitude.
Yep,
As good as gone.
yep.
And she probably wanted you to pull yourself together
Right.
and say, "Okay, no, I can't let you go like this." When was it her idea to walk away, or was it that you said, "Hey, you can go"?
When she said it was coming to that point, to leave, I was just like, okay.
So she asked you to leave.
No, when she said she was gonna leave,
Uh,
I was like, okay.
do you think that by her saying that, she was hoping that you would come to your senses,
I think so. Yeah.
but you didn't?
Nope.
After you really, really, really realize that your wife, because obviously you loved her, have just went far, far, far away from you, did you ever stop to say, let me reach back and get my wife? Let's really talk about this. Maybe after a month or 2 months where you saw really it was not going, she was really leaving, and you said, "You know what, wait a minute, let me shake this off and talk to my wife and get my wife back." Did
Nope.
you? No.
And it's funny because to this day, we still close. We talk to each other maybe 2-3 times a week. I mean, because she lives in a different state now, but I mean, we're still real good friends. So, I mean, I think it worked out for the best. I mean, because like she's happy now, and I'm pretty much happy in my life where I could do what I want to do. I mean, because I'm getting older and I need to do what I can while I can.
Do you think, because it's something you just said, you're doing now pretty much what you want to do you think that if she had stayed and the marriage would have been tight, would you have felt that you still could have done what you wanted to do?
No,
You wouldn't have been happy.
I wouldn't have been happy because I wouldn't have been able to do what I wanted to do. I would have been happy she was still there. But as far as doing what I want to do, I mean, I love this too much. I've been doing it too long. I mean, I can think back when my grandfather made tapes of us when we were kids, and like we wanted to be like gospel singers, and I'm 8 or 9 years old on these tapes singing or dancing, or I mean, because I was in dance groups, singing groups, bands. I mean, it was always something to do with music, and this is just something that's in me.
Well, and I understand that, but do you, and you probably have, and of course you've answered this, but if the marriage was solid, don't you think that you could have still did your music and have a solid marriage with your wife?
Yeah, if I would have got to the point where I was putting the marriage first,
Okay.
and I wasn't doing that. The music was first. What I had to do was first, and because I've been trying to do it for so long, and now that I'm, like I said, I'm older now, and I write for different people. It's like this is the closest, the farthest I done been doing as far as being successful doing it. And it's just funny. I mean, I've been doing it so long, and if I would have gave up or stopped back then or not even kept pushing, it might not be happening.
Do you think that If you had not had this journey of being an amputee, do you think your marriage would have stayed together, or you would have been still doing what you were supposed to do as that husband?
Yeah, I think it would have. If I wouldn't have had the amputees, I think the marriage would have stayed together. Because then I would have. Well, I still couldn't work because I got kidney failure, but the marriage would have worked because I would have. It'd have been the marriage. It wouldn't have been about the music.
But the music.
Because I needed the music to help me deal with all the stuff I was. That was my comfort zone. That's where I got away.
I can see that. Like I said, you have kids.
Yeah, too.
You have two. And how are they in your life, and where are they? Do they understand? And is that the marriage? The kids are from your first marriage, or
Well, one of my kids is from my first marriage.
okay,
My oldest son is from a previous
okay,
engagement.
okay. Okay. How are they? And you're like, where are they? Are they close? Are you guys close?
Yeah.
You're close.
Close.
And now, have your family been able to understand and understand the mood swings that you have gone through and where you are now?
I would say yeah and no, because like our family, we have a pretty large family, but we're not really close. Everybody have their own. I always say their own bubble.
Okay.
Like I'm close with my kids, and like my sister, I have one sister that's still alive. She's close with her kids, and then like I have a brother, he's close with his kids. I mean, it's not like we're all close together. And it's funny to bring you said that because 2 weeks ago we had a family reunion, and we've been trying to have one for the past 40 years, and it never happened. But when it happened this time, it was just crazy how we was all together. And I mean, nephews were seeing each other, nieces were seeing each other for the first time. And
What brought that together?
well, me and my brother, my oldest brother, we always been talking about it. First it was me and my sister, and we was trying to do it when my father was alive, and my father was like, really like, he didn't care. If y'all do it, y'all do it. If y'all don't, y'all don't. I don't care. And me and my other brother, my oldest brother, we got together and we kept talking about it. And we were supposed to do it the year before this epidemic started. And when that happened, we were like, wow, we don't know when we're going to try to do it now. So we just decided we're going to do it now. And who could come, they're going to come. Who don't. So we had people come from Boston and Vegas and just different places to come. Everybody, like I said, everybody didn't come, but it was good. The turnout. Yeah.
And that's always needed in a family, to be able to have a family reunion, even if it's no more than 10 or 20 people.
Yeah.
It's good because you learn something, because out of the 10 or 20 people, there's going to be some people that didn't know the history.
Right.
So it's always good to be able to share history with members of your family. Now I have a question, and I see here, and I hope those that are looking, I see this arm here.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, how does this really work? Are you able to pick up a cup with this?
Yeah.
You can pick a cup up with this. Are you comfortable with this?
Not really. I mean, I really have to still get used to it, because I'm so used to now with using my nub to do different things. I mean, I just got to get used to it, because I have to press a button to open the hand up and then press the button to close it. And they have a different one. They said after about a year or two, they
Can I press this button?
yeah, it's not on right now.
Or do you have to have it on?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay. Okay.
And they said in a year, maybe about a year, they have one that it hooks up in the forearm part to the nerves, and I'll be able to operate the hand like my hand.
Really?
But yeah, so
It's amazing. It reminds me of the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman back then,
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because that's what a lot of my friends call me. Because, I mean, people see the amputees, but they don't know everything that's wrong with me. They just see the amputees, and when they find, they say, man, you the Bionic Man. You the $6 million man. I mean, because it's, like I said, it's more than just 3 amputees wrong with me. And what I go through, people be like, man, are you I have friends that I couldn't do it. I've been killed myself, because I go through a lot.
And I understand. And I go through a lot just having the one amputation. Mm-hmm. And as I was saying a little bit earlier, we go through a lot. In the mornings, when we get up, we can't just put 2 legs on.
Right.
We can't just say, okay, let my feet hit the ground. We can't do that. It has to be, for me, I have to reach over, get my prosthetic, and not only just get the prosthetic, but I have to get everything that goes along with putting everything on before I actually put the prosthetic on. Right. Yeah, so there's a lot to it. It's not just that easy. And not only that, sometimes in the middle of the night I have to get up and go to the bathroom. That means I have to reach over, put the prosthetic on, and da-da-da-da-da. And you know what? Sometimes I don't feel like that, so I will hop. I'll hop like the bunny, to the bathroom. But we go through a lot. And even when just trying to get into the bathtub, just trying to take a shower, is so much that we have to go through to just get to the shower, just to get in the shower, just to get to the tub, just to get in the tub. It's just a lot that we go through. And then for me, I live upstairs. So therefore, it's actually 32 steps, and I have counted them. 32 steps I have to go up before I get to my front door. if I have to go back out before, sometimes I say, I just can't do it. Let me get everything while I'm out, because once I get upstairs, it's more than a notion. And this is something I have to do every day. So sometimes my friends say, you know what? No, I don't want to do this. I'm already in. I just don't feel like going back downstairs and then coming back up. It's a lot. And so we go through a lot, and I can only imagine what you go through with both prosthetics. And then you have your arm. Now, do you cook?
No.
You have someone there to do all that for you?
My son, my youngest son, he doesn't stay with me anymore, but he prepare my meals and everything and bring it to the house like every Friday and the last meat of the week, and my washing and everything for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but God is still good, because there could be a lot. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, but we're still here. We're still here. I'm going to take this minute right now, because there's a couple of little bit of announcements I want to make. I want to send a thank you out to someone. Not just only a thank you, but I was sitting at home the other night and just going through some things and just making some notes. And there's a young lady that I want to really say thank you to. And forgive me, I should have done this a long time ago. And I hadn't. And I can't let another Friday night go by without me saying thank you to her. And I'm speaking about a young lady by the name of Miss Cheryl Austin Cheney. She did my website for me. And I always had my website out, but there were some changes that needed to be done, and it was difficult trying to find somebody to make the changes for me, and I was introduced to her. And I just want to say thank you to Miss Cheryl Austin Cheney. She has done a marvelous job with my website. And whenever I call her and say, hey, I need such and such and such done, I need this letter done, or I need this done, she's right there. And I just want to say to you, Cheryl, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to the top of my heart. Thank you. I appreciate you. You've done a marvelous job, and you're still there for me, and I'm happy about that. And I just want to say thank you. And if anyone wants a website done, I couldn't think of a better person for you to go to or get in contact with to have her do your website for you. And I'm going to give you her website so that you can check her out and just check her out, because she's awesome, and she does a lot of other things too. So, but give her a shout out and just go to her website, and it's www.cgawebconepts.com. Again, www.cgawebconepts.com. Check her out. Because if you're looking for someone, she's the one. I'd highly recommend you to go and check Cheryl out. And also, I want to say thank you again to Mr. Lehman Scott. Lehman, that wrote that song, Her Mystical Journey. I get a lot of compliments about it. And I just want to say, Lehman Scott, thank you so much. And if anyone wants to check him out, go check him out. And he's at LESWORDMUSIK. It's spelt a little different, word music, but it's spelt with a K. And that's Less Word Music, LESWORDMUSIK production.com. Check him out, because he's also awesome in writing and producing and coming up with some great creations. All you have to do is say, hey, this is what I want, and give him a little bit about you, and I tell you, he'll come up with something, because this is what he did for me. He came up with Her Mystical Journey. And I just want to say thank you. And also, I have to say, for all of you that want your auto needs met, check Mr. Gamble out. Detail all your detailing needs. Check him out, because he's awesome in doing the work. He enjoys doing it, and he has compassion about doing his work when it comes to detailing cars. And it's exclusive auto touch. And he's at 626-328-0435. Give him a call, or either go to his website. You can check him out and see everything that he does. And when you look at his work, you want to say, he's my guy. Let him work on my car. And go to his website, and it's eatdetailing.com. And that's EATDETAILING.com. Check him out as well. And if you want that ceramic coating, tell him that you heard this announcement on Bring It to the Table, and he'll give you $150 off. Check him out, because he's awesome in his work, and he not only just awesome in detailing, but he'll explain to you what he's doing to your car, and you can't go wrong when someone sits there and say, hey, this is what I'm doing to your car, this is what you need, this is what you don't need. So check him out as well. Again, I just want to send a shout out to those that are looking for someone to do their website, someone that's looking to have some music done, and also someone that's looking to have their car detailed. Those are my announcements for those tonight. And again, I just want to say thank you to those that support me by text. A lot of times, throughout the week, I get texts about, hey, I really enjoyed the show. This was very helpful. And this is what it's all about. Me trying to bring some people here to be able to help you go through your journey, because we all have one. And what I'm going through, somebody else is going through it as well. And we can help each other in trying to get through the journey. Okay? And I want to say thank you to two other people. And they have no idea that I'm going to say this, but I want to say thank you to Mr. Kevin Nash. I want to thank him so much for allowing me to be here to do this. Kevin, thank you so much, my brother. And also I want to say thank you to a young man that makes it possible every Friday night, and that's Mr. Rashid, the engineer. I want to say thank you, Rashid, because he's right on it. Thank you so much, because I can't do this by myself. I need you here, and you're here for me, and I thank you so much. Now, again, I understand, as you were saying a little bit earlier, Bear, that you like music. You're into music. Now, you write?
Yes.
Do you play any instruments?
I used to play the drums.
You used to play the drums?
Yep.
Well, you know what? You still got that good hand.
But my feet don't work.
Well, that's okay. Just bang. You know, just bang, 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 bang. You know. Now, you sing gospel? Do you R&B?
Hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop.
You do hip hop. Okay. Now, I heard you said something a little bit earlier too. You were in like a group. Your dad or your family, or who is it that
My grandfather used to take. When I was younger, it was gospel.
Okay. With
When
your
I was a kid.
With your grandfather?
No, he used to film us
Oh.
when we were, kids. Me and kids like from the street.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
But then we was like pop locking and breaking and all that.
Oh, I haven't heard that in so long. Pop locking and breaking and all this. Yes. You know what? I'm gonna say this right quick. I started taking dancing at the age of 3, tap and ballet, jazz, and turned professionally at 12. So very technical, okay, the technique. And after I'd come off the road at one point, there was this group of young ladies, because at that time they were pop locking. Mm-hmm. So when they had heard of me and they was needing another dancer, they asked me if I could join their group. Mm-hmm. Well, I said yes. Okay. I said sure. But I wasn't familiar with pop locking. No more than just the terminology and just that it was a dance, it was a group. Bear, I was never so embarrassed because I couldn't pop lock. Mm. They said, but it's so different. It was different for me because I was so used to technique. So it was a lot different. I just couldn't do it. I tried. I just couldn't do it. So you know what? They said, thank you very much, Miss Gigi, but I think we're going to get somebody else. And I said, well, thank you. I'll bow out gracefully. But it was okay because that just was not me. Mm-hmm. From the tap, the ballet, and being on toe and point. Pop locking, it was just something that I couldn't do, And with all the training that I had, it was just something that I couldn't do, not at all. But tell me, now that you're rapping, you have your own music that you've come up with. You've written some songs for yourself.
Right.
You've written some. Now, do you just do this by yourself, or are you in a group? Do you have a group, or you?
I have a crew. Mm-hmm. I mean, guys that I used to rap with. Mm-hmm. Like my rap name is TDF Sugar Bear.
TDF.
TDF Sugar Bear.
TDF Sugar Bear. Okay.
And everybody asked me now because it was just Sugar Bear.
Mm-hmm.
But then everybody asked me, what do TDF stand for? What do TDF? I mean, why do you got that at the beginning of your name? Mm-hmm. And that was the name of our group when we was together.
And how many was in your group?
4 of us.
Mm-hmm. Was it just all male, or was it male and females?
All male.
All males. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, what happened for you guys to no longer be together, or just?
It really wasn't working out. And then me and my god brother, we went together. Mm-hmm. And then we changed the T in the TDF was for two, but it was for TOO, and when it became me and my god brother, then it was TWO, for two of us. But yeah.
Now, do you and your god brother, you still do some things together now?
Mm-hmm. Every now and then, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's in Texas.
Oh, okay. Now, also when you're doing this, do you do it at different functions, clubs, or is it just a family?
No, I'm starting to get back into the clubs and the functions now because I just released a single, and it's all on iTunes. And matter of fact, my son was telling me that they released it today, but we shot a video, and the video's on YouTube. We did that like 4 weeks ago for the single that's out right now.
Now, I know you say now do your son rap?
He used to when he was little, and then he
Okay.
stopped.
Either one of your kids?
Mm-mm.
No, okay. Now, I know you rap, and I know you say you have, you do R&B, and you do some R&B sometimes, or no?
No,
No, just rock,
just rap.
just rap. That's it. Now, tell me, with the difference of in your rapping, what audience do you lean towards in your rapping, and what kind of language do you use? Because I mean, there's all types of
Yeah.
rapping and stuff. So
I do it for everybody. I mean, I got songs everybody like. I mean, with me being a little older, I do it some for like old school. Well, they call us old heads now. They don't say like OGs or old school. They call us old heads. That's
old hits,
old head.
old heads. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It's a form of respect for calling us the OG.
Things-
Original. So they call us old heads.
Things just really change, don't they? I mean, I'm not.
And
I'm
I
not
got clean
up on-
stuff as well as, I mean, being from Compton, the majority of my stuff is pretty explicit. But I do have stuff that I do for,
Now you said being from Compton, is that what made you for it to be that type of music, that type of language being used because being from Compton, as you say?
not really. That is just, a lot of times rappers rap about what they see or what they go through. And, you can do stuff that you don't have to cuss in it. But a lot of times to get a point across, you need that in there.
That extra
Yeah.
in it. Now, going through what you've gone through in your journey, have you written anything about your journey? Have you, with the amputation and what you've
Yes.
gone through?
It's a song that's going to be on my album. It's called The Bionic Man. And I'm talking about because like I said, it's more than just the amputees. And when I talk about it, I mean, people be like, whoa. I mean, like I said, I didn't know. If I can I touch on that? Or,
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, because there might be other people listening that going through the same thing.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, people are going. Believe it or not, we have a lot of people that are going through the same thing and don't know how to deal with it. But when they hear someone else's journey, it helps them out. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, with the diabetes, when it first affects you, they say it either affect your kidneys or your eyes. And with me, it was my kidneys. My kidneys completely shut down. And when I went and had to start doing dialysis, they told me, because the size I was a lot bigger than I am now. They told me the size I am, and with my complete kidneys being completely shut down, I would have like 2 years to live doing dialysis unless I got a transplant. They told me 2 years. And December 16th this year, I'll be doing dialysis 25 years.
My.
And they told me 2. And it'll be 25 years this December.
That lets you know who's in control.
Right. And then every other month, I have to go to the optometrist because of the diabetes. My vessels in my eyes leak blood in my eyes. So they have to stick a needle in my eye and suck the blood that's leaking in there out. Then I have congested heart failure. That's why I wasn't able to get a kidney transplant, because I have a bad heart. And they said if I get a transplant, you got to be asleep for like 6 hours to get a kidney. And if I sleep that long, I might not wake up. So that's just some stuff, like other stuff that I go and people are like, are you for real?
You just never know what one goes through. That's the reason why you can't always judge a book by its cover. You just don't know what an individual is going through. And that's the reason why it's nice to be nice and nice to be kind, because you never know a story behind someone's life.
Right.
You just don't know. And we don't have but a few minutes. Just give me a little bit of something. Just rap me a little bit of something. Let me just hear your voice.
Okay, Off the music that's playing, or I mean,
No.
did you play?
You know what? You want to do it off my music?
Yeah, I do it off your music.
Gonna do it off. He's gonna rap a little bit off of Her Mystical Journey. It's on you.
Lyrical madness released from deep within. Fat skills I eject with a ghetto blend. It's just me, your big homie, coming from the west to impress the rest. With a S on my chest, it's for sugar, not super. Will battle any mental program and unload my game plan. A form of speech not to teach, just trying to reach them down, brothers. From Brooklyn to Long Beach, from the hills to the slums, lavish fools and bums. Feeding off my flow as it fills your tongue. Sitting here, recite a little something I was writing, make you say, go boy. Large brothers exciting with the thrust of bust. Now wannabes hush. Coming straight out of Compton with no need to cuss. Cause I can still relate, at times called great. Even though I'm overweight, females masturbate. I'm not your average kind of bro with your average kind of flow. Heard this old track and had to let y'all know. Sugar Bear's up in here putting something on your mind. Hold your girl if she's fine, cause it's my time.
All right, go ahead on, Sugar Bear. All right, got you, Sugar Bear. I just want to thank you for tonight. Thank you for sharing your journey. And we know God's good. We know He's good. And your life and what you've gone through, He has something even better for you. Just like you just said, you've been on dialysis for 25 years. Right? Nobody but God. And He's kept you here for a reason. And although sometimes we don't understand it, and usually we don't understand it at the beginning, but before it's all over, you'll know why.
Right.
You'll know why. And all we have to do is accept His will and know that He knows what's best for us. And it's not for us to give up. It's for us to press through and stand tall, because you know what? There's still a lot more to us and still a lot more out there for you to do, you know? So I just want to say thank you so much. And I know there's some other things that you're going through, and but it's all going to come together for you. We just have to have patience, and you've had been patient because you've been on the dollars for 25 years, so that lets you know you're having patience. You know, and reach out, and we're going to continue to stay in touch. And again, Jalen All-American Amputee Foundation will try and help and do whatever they can do for you. So again, I want to thank Sister Elvia for introducing us. And when I asked you to come on and tell your story, you didn't hesitate. And I just want to thank you so much for that. And I also, again, want to thank Mr. Rashid for being the gentleman that he is, and he is the engineer here. And I just said, Rashid, thank you so much. And reaching out to all my listeners, this is the weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. And again, as I always say, peace, one love.